And where I really got my interest in organized crime and really got my career off the ground, there was a bar in Providence on Washington Street called Hope's. And it was owned by Lee Dicus and Carol Young, both reporters for the Journal at the time. At the time, they were married. And it was a place, a watering hole for journalists and artists and people from Trinity and cops and politicians. And it was just this
Sounds like the dream.
Oh, it's just a great place. And I met the late Jack White.
Yep.
And Jack White, you probably know, is a Pulitzer Prize winner. He's the one who proved, did a story that showed that President Nixon had cheated on his income tax returns. And Jack, we just struck up a friendship with his partner, also Randy Richard. They were the I-team of the Journal at the time. And he kind of just took me under his wing, and just being around him and the advice he would give me over drinks, over playing pool, over playing slot machines, stuff like pinball machines. I credit him with any success I had in this business. He saw that I had an interest in organized crime. And when you're doing organized crime reporting, you got to have some really good sources in the law enforcement community. And he took it upon himself to introduce me to some really top flight sources, said I could be trusted, you can deal with this guy. And from there, it really took off for me. And I credit Jack with so much. He was my best friend in the business, and it was sad when he died several years ago.
Yeah, of course.
And his son's Tim White.
Yes.
Yeah, who's also filling his father's shoes quite well, by the way.
Right, and sort of moving into the future. He's kind of taking his own brand with him as well.
Oh, yeah.
Very interesting.
Tim's doing a great job.
I'd love to know more about this watering hole. It's called Hope's.
Yes.
This sounds like where I'd want to be,
Yeah, you would want to be if you were. Yeah, it was just this great place because, like I said, the owners were journalists, and they had this kind of an eclectic crowd that showed up in there. And there were nights we would sit in there, myself and Randy Richards sometime, just pounding down drinks, playing pinball machines, and shooting the breeze. Politicians would come in. Joe Piolino would come in I think at the time he was the youngest councilman in the history of the state or something like that. Buddy would come in once in a while. Cops would come in once in a while. And it was just a beehive of creativity in there, and a real free-flowing place, And we just loved it. I just loved it.
Yeah, it sounds incredible.
Oh, it was. You got to meet. That's why I got friendly with a lot of reporters from the Providence Journal, because they would hang out there, especially when they were doing like a second shift. They got their stories filed, and they come over, 11 o'clock, 11:30, something like that. So it was really pretty cool.